An outdoor solar-powered security camera system, a bird and wildlife observation system, or a little of both, you decide. The very first night after I installed the system, I noticed Mother Screech Owl liked to perch on top of the flycatcher house on the back wall. What will you notice? Today we're going to check out, set up, and review and test out the Campark wireless Wi-Fi outdoor security system provided by Campark. This is the SC02 system. It comes in flavors of 2, 3, and 4 wireless cameras, and this is the 3-camera version. And it looks remarkably simple and easy to set up. There's no wires. There's 3 cameras and a Wi-Fi base station, which is going to attach to your internet router, and then the 3 cameras are going to communicate with the internet router, and then you'll be able to look at everything on a smartphone app and get alerts and set the settings and everything like that. So what we're going to do right now is just quickly go over what comes with the system, and then I'll set it up. You know, the easiest thing about this system is going to be attaching it, because you don't have any signal wires or power, so it's just 4 screws, and there's a template for each of the cameras. So the actual mounting of the camera, finding a place that you want to put it where it gets sun to keep it powered, is actually the easiest thing. The most challenging thing for most people is you know, setting up the system and getting it to work and getting alerts and seeing video on your camera and making sure everything works good. So what I'll do for this brief introduction is just set everything up and get all 3 cameras and the system working before I install them. So the cameras themselves look like real nice units. They're 3 megapixel HD camera sensors, CMOS, I think it's 1/3 inch. They've got IR lights for the nighttime, black and white at night, color in the daytime. It's got a passive infrared sensor and nighttime sensors. And although there's you know, settings on a USB and a micro SD slot and a power on-off switch on each individual camera, those aren't really applicable when you're using the base station. Everything will be controlled by the base station, so this part you won't have to mess with. Besides from the camera, it also has a 2-way speaker where you'll be able to talk and back and forth to for whatever reason through the camera and your phone wherever you are in the world. And the quality and fit and finish looks pretty good. I've already attached the antennas, and I'll do all the last minute adjusting once I decide where I'm going to mount these. The one thing I've already done is each of the solar power units, I've charged them completely for quite a few hours with the attached USB cable. So the solar power unit is already charged up, and then you just need the sun to keep it topped off. You know, that part of it, the camera part, is pretty straightforward. Little Wi-Fi base station is going to attach to your internet router through this Ethernet cable. There's a slot for a micro USB card here. The maximum memory card you can put in here is 128 gigabytes, which is a fair amount. You can store your pictures and videos on this USB card here, or you can use the cloud service. And then of course this is a power cable, USB power cable, and this is going to plug in, and then you're going to plug this into one of the slots on your internet router. These 3 cameras will communicate with this base station, which will then send the data out over your router, and you'll be able to interact with it with an app. The next step with this, of course, is to hook it up to the router and get each of these 3 cameras talking to the base station and get the app installed on my phone. So I'll come back in a little bit and explain how that all went. Well, that was about the easiest product I've ever set up, and an app to go with it. That was pretty amazing. I downloaded the app, set up an account, and plugged in the Wi-Fi base station into my internet router with the router cable, and plugged it into the USB power. The system router powered up, I scanned the QR code on the router into the app, and within 2 minutes I had all 3 cameras in the router running, and you can see them here. I've got these 2 sitting right here that are connected, and it just got the motion. You can see I'm live on the app, so you can get a live view at any time. And then I've got one outside. You can look at it at full screen, and I've got one camera just sitting out on the back there, and you can see it didn't take long for the squirrels to, and you can just see the alarm. It just alarmed on the squirrel. Now, of course, you can set the alarm so you won't be getting alarms all the time. So, the 3 cameras, just turn them on and it automatically connects to the base station, which is already putting things out to the internet server. So I'll go into the app in a little bit more detail later, but right now I just want to make sure that everything is working fine. And you can even watch one particular camera on full screen. On the full screen, I've got it just sitting out there on the patio, so I haven't got it hooked up yet. And there's a blue jay, just like that. That's going to be cool. I'm going to have some fun with this, I can tell you right now. And you can hear the alarm going off for the squirrel and the blue jay. So, you can decide how you want to set it up. But of course, this is meant to be a security camera, but I'm in the business of photographing and enjoying birds and wildlife. So that's one of the first things I wanted to try. And it's got pretty good quality, as you can see. And you can cycle through all your other cameras. So I've got one of the cameras mounted on a 2x10 treated board out there to make it a mobile camera unit. I've got it back there this morning for the birds and the squirrels and whatnot to test out. And of course, they never disappoint. My employees work for peanuts and they always show up for work. So this is what it looks like. I have to measure it. It's about it's a good, probably 100 feet from the base station. And really, really happy with the system so far. So easy to set up and so easy to work. And you can see here, I can just go back and review the triggers. There's a blue jay, of course, and the squirrel. The endless battle between those 2 goes on, but they're good critters to have in the backyard. Okay, so I'm recording on the micro SD card on the unit, which is 128 gigabytes, and I'm recording on channel 3, and that's just this is what it looks like on full screen, and it's really quite nice. I'm in playback mode, and I have it switched from its default to standard definition. I changed it to high definition, and I've got the camera about 18 inches from this feeding basket, so it looks like a good focus for this camera is within about a foot. Let's go back to real time. And there's a blue jay real time. And it has sound, obviously. Not only can you hear the sound made at the recording site, you can also talk back to it. A little while ago, I whistled for a squirrel and scared him away. That was a little bit of fun. Anyway, and that's what's happening in the camera 3, and I've got camera 1 and 2 over here that I'm going to put out later. Right now it's set to record on motion detection, so as soon as it detects motion, it'll start recording. You can also record it anytime you want to, so you can always get a live view, which is really nice. So wherever you are in the world with your smartphone, you open up the app and turn it on, and you can see a live view of what's going on at your location. And you can manually record the action, or you can just let the motion detection do its thing. And I'm going to go put the other 2 cameras out back and test them and then hook them up. And really, the other thing to go over is there is lens control. And let's go back to the one view. And so with push you can zoom in. One push is 2x. And you can zoom all the way into 10x. Now, of course, zooming in that far, it only really has applicability to when you're looking over a larger area. I'm already extremely close to these bird and squirrel feeding basket anyway. But in my case, with this particular location, I would say you wouldn't want to zoom in more than 2 to 1. One click gives you 2 to 1. The other thing too is you can move it around and set it where you want it. And so you can see that if you wanted to monitor a bird feeding area or an animal feeding area with this system, you could really get up nice, close, and personal views of what's going on and take videos as you see fit, or take, there's a picture of blue jay at 2 magnification. That's really pretty nice. And you can move it down here a little bit. That is pretty darn good. Now, what's amazing is the latency. You saw that blue jay just take off. Now realize that that camera is about 100 feet from the base station. It sends a wireless signal to the base station, which is connected to the internet router that goes out to the world and goes to my smartphone. And you can see when that blue jay took off with wings, and I was watching it live out the window too. The latency on this system is pretty amazing. So I'm going to switch this to full screen mode. Right there, and you can see you have your controls here, the microphone, snapshot, record a video, change the definition, turn the sound off or on, and your PTZ. And that will be a lot of fun. That's a blue jay growling at the squirrel. There you got it in real time. In real time, I'm just talking to you right now on this thing. There's a real time you heard the blue jay make the infamous growl sound. And of course, they can't make up their mind the first time of which peanut they're going to eat. A lot of times they'll make a red-shouldered hawk call or even an osprey call. But the scary growl call there you just heard is also effective on the squirrels. Installation of the cameras is simple. There's a sticky template that you put where you want the camera, and then just drill 4 small pilot holes and screw the base in with the included 4 screws. Then attach and adjust the cameras so they cover the areas you want, and the solar power cells point to where they'll get the most sun during the day. Install the cameras fully charged and the sun will keep them charged, but if you have an area with limited sun coverage, they may run down over time. You can also leave a camera mobile and mount it to a portable base that you can move around as needed, such as for watching birds and wildlife or a special place you want to monitor temporarily. A full charge should last quite a while. When I test out products, I'm always looking for ways to help viewers enhance the enjoyment of their backyards and nature in general. In testing over 2 weeks, I found the Campark SC02 solar-powered Wi-Fi outdoor security camera system to be reliable and very easy to install and operate with the CloudEye app. I also satisfied myself that it would also make a great backyard bird and wildlife observation system, and will keep one camera mobile so I can put it wherever I want to monitor birds and wildlife. All you really need is a home internet service with a spare plug on your router and a decent smartphone, and very little effort is required. Of course, the performance is going to depend on the speed of your internet service and your phone plan's data service. This system is quite affordable, and the cameras and hardware appear to be well built with good fit and finish. The quality of the standard definition short videos and images automatically sent when there are alerts is good, and there's a very short lag time between motion causing an alert and the receipt of a short video on your phone. You can listen in real time and talk through the speaker. These videos with audio are stored on the micro SD card on the base station or on the cloud if you choose. Because the alert files are at a low bit rate, they are small and quite a lot of files can be stored before you fill up a 128 gigabyte micro SD card. I would think several months or so. You can also save these files to your phone as you look at them. You can get a real-time view from any of the cameras at any time from any place and watch or record video at HD or make screenshots, and these are stored on your phone's database. These are the highest quality videos. The CloudEye app has a lot of functionality and options and seemed robust and never crashed on me in 2 weeks. I got good Wi-Fi signal from the cameras at varying distances from the base station, Signal was quite usable up to and beyond 150 feet or so, and I even did a test at 200 feet. It got signal and video, but the signal was weak and not reliable as would be expected. This video was recorded from the mobile camera that I put back in the jungle behind the backyard at a distance of about 200 feet. You can see with one bar it's working, but I think it would be unreasonable to expect to get a 200 feet on a reliable basis. Signal might be like in and out, but it really depends a lot on your particular location of your router. There's a number of resources on Google that you can find to try and optimize your router's distance to the Wi-Fi base station. 100 to 150 feet should be no problem depending on the limitations of your particular internet router location. I found the night vision distance to be better than claimed by the manufacturer. This 3-camera system sells for under $300, which is pretty affordable. The unknown is how will it last over time exposed to the harsh elements. It comes with a 1-year warranty.